Welcome to the Disorderly Drifter Show. We made it on our Honda Monkeys to southern Baja and ferried them across the Sea of Cortez and on to Aguascalientes. In the next couple weeks, we planned on going 1,300 miles to Playa del Carmen. Asti and Coulter flew home for a wedding and will be back in a few days. Courtney and I headed out with plans of meeting Asti and Coulter down the road somewhere. This 1,300 mile ride to the East Coast didn't seem like very far after currently doing the 1,000 miles in 24 hours on the Iron Butt Challenge. We just couldn't believe how beautiful Mexico is. It's times like this we're so glad to get the experience of the world on the maxed out monkey speed of 50 miles per hour. We made our way to Tolantongo and its stunning drive, which took us from the clouds down a steep and windy switchback road that tested our motorcycle skills, which we noticed were getting better, as only a few months before, neither one of us had a motorcycle license or much experience on a motorcycle. Actually, before buying the monkey, my longest ride was about 75 feet, and I hurt so dang bad I couldn't sleep for 2 days. After a few miles, this curvy road finally led to a parking lot at the bottom of the valley and to one of the bluest rivers I've ever seen. The Tolantongo River gets its color from mineral salts as it passes through mountains. The mountain also heats the water to about 100 degrees Fahrenheit. We went to explore the source of the river and seen where it flows from the many complex channels out of the mountain. There are 2 grottos or caves at the entrance, and we just needed to check them out. It was like a sauna walking into them, but very relaxing after our hard days of travel. We seriously could have stayed in these caves and lived here forever. But the best we could do was camp near the river for the night. Then we got to visit the Tolantongo pools for a nice swim in the morning before we headed down the road again. We made it to Val'Quirico. This is a hidden gem find just north of the city of Puebla. It's a new town that's just being built, but it modeled after a medieval European town. It's like Tuscany in the middle of Mexico, complete with cobblestone streets, restaurants, bars, coffee shops, and much more. It was a great place to eat and play tourist for a couple of hours. We definitely picked the wrong season to drive through the subtropical region, as it seemed like every day we spent hours sitting under an interstate overpass, or else we would be covered in the sky juice. We never thought we'd be warm or dry ever again. Then we finally descended off the Sierra Madre Oriental mountain range. As Mexico Federal Highway 150D passed through the Cañon del Rio Blanco National Park, and we could feel a rise in temperatures as we were now decreasing elevation back to sea level, and soon we were driving along the Gulf of Mexico. It's so crazy to be bundled up with every piece of clothing you own in the morning, and then skinning them all off to be hot, sweaty, and sunburnt in the afternoon. Following the highway along the coast, we made it into the state of Campeche, and into the capital Campeche City. This is a very neat and historic port city, which was fortified with a giant wall around the entire city in 1686 because of frequent attacks from pirates and marauders. We had made it to the Yucatan, and meanwhile back in Aguascalientes, Coulter and Asti were just getting back with some much needed tools for the trip. Coulter's bike was acting up and burning a lot of oil after the 1,000-mile iron butt ride, so he took it to Eric, a local motorcycle mechanic we had met. He inspected Coulter's bike and knew the motor needed to be rebuilt. With the COVID pandemic, it was tough getting the right parts shipped to Mexico at this time, so they did some running around the local motorcycle parts stores, and with the best parts available, they honed the cylinder and put in a new piston. With Coulter's bike running again, they were going to just check the valves on Aussie's bike, but after a few too many beers, his entire bike was in pieces and they were grinding down a Chinese piston on a bench grinder to make it fit. But they got it running good and were finally ready to point their monkeys east and meet up with us in the Yucatan Peninsula. As they were making their way east, Courtney and I made it to the Mayan city of Chichen Itza. This pre-Columbian city is one of the most well-known archaeological sites in the Americas, and there was no way we could be this part of Mexico and miss it. It's such a clean and well-maintained site, it feels like you're walking into the past. And for you Road to El Dorado lovers, this city comes complete with a full-size ball court if you're up for a game. This was a play-to-the-death human sacrifice game where they had to hit a rubber ball with their hips through the hoops. Who do you think your money would be on here, MJ or LeBron? And why, at one of the most beautiful, amazing, and historical places in the world, do I feel like someone is still trying to sell me insurance? Austin and Coulter ride harder and longer days than Courtney and I, so while we were taking our time, it didn't take them long to catch up with us in Playa del Carmen, and we were the four amigos once again.